Hello and welcome back to New World. So there's this new game called Avowed that's releasing by Obsidian Entertainment later this year, and I've seen a lot of things about it and I have not talked about it, and I feel like we have to have this conversation because this game actually looks really good. Now, it's made by Obsidian Entertainment, the people behind Outer Worlds and Fallout New Vegas, two games that I really love. They're very story based, they look very nice, there's a lot of options and choices that you can have, so it's no surprise that Avowed is going to take this same kind of path. Now, the game looks amazing. Just seeing the game and being somebody that does not know about this world at all, it looks great. It actually looks really good. I'm very interested and very excited to talk to you guys about this. I watched a couple of videos on it and now I'm ready to show my opinion with you guys, and hopefully we can decide if we're going to buy this game that's coming out this year. So if you like the content that I have, if you like these head talking videos, we have a lot more games to talk about this year. So let's go ahead and get into Avowed. So Avowed is a fantasy open world RPG that takes place in the universe of Pillars of Eternity. Now, it's a game that's also made by Obsidian Entertainment that looks pretty good. It reminds me a lot of Baldur's Gate 3. It kind of has that world of head top gaming. It has the same thing. You can create characters, make choices, and be able to really immerse yourself in that world. But this time they're taking a different spin on it and actually giving you this universe that you can play in first and third person. Now, the game has character creators. It also has decisions that you can make that actually dictate the outcome of different missions and probably the storyline. In the trailers that I've seen, they're very set on making your own choices, finding your own destiny, figuring out what path that you go on. And that's a very good thing to take into account, because games that are very heavy set, especially like Baldur's Gate 3 that I'm getting a very huge vibe from graphically, just based like even the camera angle with talking, those kind of games get me excited, because the best games are the ones that give you the most choice as a player, because it makes the world feel more lived in. It makes the world feel like you're actually a part of it, and I'm very excited to see where the story takes me inside of this world of Avowed. So in this game, you're a godlike kind of individual that doesn't know exactly where you got your powers from, but that's the whole premise of the story, is figuring out where you got your powers from. And with these powers and based in this world, there's a plague that's going on that just makes everybody just basically go crazy and want to probably murder and kill things. It seems like a very interesting story. Now, with this world, with it being predicated around a lot of choices and decisions, a lot of people aren't going to take your godlike appearance well. Some people might actually like it. Some people might actually think you're kind of scary, which they say in the trailer. That's pretty interesting. So based off of this, you can probably walk inside of a town or walk inside of any altercation, and you might have a different approach or different encounters based off of what kind of region or area you're set on. Now, because the developer did say a lot of people aren't going to take it well, but some people will take it well, you kind of get two different ways that you can go with things. And you being the quote unquote godlike is interesting, because if you're a bad one, will that set a bad reputation amongst the world that you're in? Are you able to further push this kind of plague-like thing and become like this plague leader, or you're the savior that gets rid of all of it and makes this world kind of like brand new and you kind of get praised? Because there are a lot of different creatures and a lot of different characters in this game that do have more of a like set foundation on this world. And the deep dive that I saw with the developer, you go and have this mission that has two different kinds of ways that you can go about things. You can go around it very stealthy and kind of maneuver your way around things, or you can go in and kill everything around you, and then you're actually met with the altercation with this person and they're like, hey, you just killed all of my soldiers. I can't let you go any further. But in the other alternative way, you get an object that you were looking for without having any problems at all. Based off of the things that you do in the world, the reputation that you set, is this godlike character somebody that's going to be praised or is going to be feared? And that, I feel like that is ultimately up to the player, which is great, because it's going to be a lot of times where you might have to make very hard and difficult decisions that might completely change how your companions think about you, that completely change how the world feels about you, or whatever outcome or things with this world. Because graphically, the way things are set, it gives me that vibe that this plague could take over the world or completely change. It has that kind of world design where choices, it's not completely filled with things. I could be wrong, but also you can eliminate it and it can become this super beautiful plague-free world. Now, there are companions in this game. Now, companions are a really cool thing that Baldur's Gate 3, Fallout, Skyrim, a lot of these games have that really enrich and enhance your experience. It seems like each companion is going to have different personalities and different things that could dictate how you go through your path. I hope that companions actually have a lot of variability to them, where you actually have like a hellbent set evil companion, or like a super nice one, or somebody that's middle ground, and you have all three of them together and you just have a catastrophe of an experience where you have to make very difficult decisions, because in a lot of previous games it always felt like the companions didn't really have a major impact on your choices. It kind of seemed like they were purely good or purely neutral. They never had like a pure set evil companion that you could have, or a pure good one, or just to have the difficulty and the decisions. Like, I need to boost my affinity with this companion. I want to have this companion either think I'm a really bad guy or a really good one. But it seemed like in a lot of games recently, it's been pretty cut and dry as far as companions, because all companions do is they're just there to help you fight, but not really make decisions. And that's something that I've been missing out on with a lot of games, and a lot of games that come out this year, because we should have purely evil companions, or purely good ones, or ones that's neutral, or ones that's just weak, or ones that have strong personalities. Hopefully in Avowed they have all of these different kind of companions that do have an actual really good impact on your decision making, and kind of make you decide, do I need to leave this companion because they're too evil, or do I want to lead into that because I want this companion to be romanceable, or whatever the case may be. That's something that I really hope that they have in Avowed, because companions are a very huge thing that can really dictate your experience on a lot of these games. Now the combat system looks very, very, very nice. Now the combat looks like, based off of every level that you level up in, you get like different animations, you get different move sets. It's also a game where you are not locked into one class. So you can be an archer, you can be a mage, you can be a gunslinging swordsman, you can be a gunslinging mage, you can be a shield and mage guy, you can be a double mage. It seems like the way that you're able to take on missions is whatever you make it to be. And that's also another good thing about this game that I'm excited about, because you can go around each mission with a different class. And now also we have different approaches where you can take a stealthy route and get objects for free without any altercation, or you can take the brute force route and pretty much have to fight your way through and have this reputation of a thief or a bandit. Now you do have character creation, and the character creation is based off of your godlike appearance. Each godlike appearance, you have this kind of like thing on your face where that you can kind of change and alternate and kind of style it the way you want, so it's good. It's not just there with every character that you make. But each character, I've seen that it also has traits that you can choose. Seen in the options menu on the side that you have certain traits that you can use with different dialogue options, to where you can take different approaches with different characters that you meet amongst the world. Think about the things that we have now. We have a huge variety of ways that we can go into combat or throughout quests. We have companions, we have character creation. The character creation is actually in depth, so the in-depth character creation does give you an opportunity to take on different missions or meet different people around the world and have different outcomes. It seems like Baldur's Gate 3 met Skyrim to me, where you have this kind of big, huge open fantasy world with a whole bunch of different variety of animals, and a set that you're this great person that you have to fight this thing and take over the world or be able to save everyone, and then also have immense and deep character arcs and traits and things that you're able to add on to the player that can dictate whatever altercations you have in the world. You can take different kind of approaches to missions. It seems like two of my favorite games that I've played so far are combining into one, and I know that might be a very major and bold thing to say, but I honestly don't think so. I think this game is kind of taking a step into the right direction as far as appealing to a lot of people that want a very good fantasy RPG that's not doing too much. One thing that I did also notice when it comes to doing too much is the UI is super minimalistic. This is another game that has a minimalistic UI. I love minimalistic UIs. Let the menus be different. The menus look very in-depth and kind of RPG roleplay like, but then when you get in the world, it's just your sword, your shield, probably your waypoint, your mission, and that's it. And you just kind of get this full screen of your abilities and what you're able to do. And that's what I really like in games like these, where you're actually able to immerse yourself in the world with a super minimalistic UI. So this game to me looks amazing. The interesting fact is there, where the game doesn't have you like really set on point A, point B. It's kind of like, here, this is what you are. Go in the world and figure it all out yourself. And that's something that I'm very excited about. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you guys think this game is actually going to be a Baldur's Gate Skyrim mix? Do you think it's going to be a flop? Do you think this game is something that you just need to know more about, and let's not get our hopes too high? I'm actually very excited for the game. I think that honestly this game might be a step in the right direction. I also think this game is doing a lot of things right. There's been a lot of great games that's releasing this year. They use the Unreal Engine 5 engine, so I know that graphically the game's gonna look great. Probably Lumen, have a lot of things that I really want to see in the game. It has choices, character creation, everything seems like it's on the right pace and the right set for this game. Let me know what you guys think down below. I'm very excited about Avowed, and I hope you are too.